up, budget babes? It's Jalea Creations, and I'm back with another video. Oh my gosh, you guys. Hi. If you're new here, my name is Jalea Creations. I teach budget babes or budget bros how to budget and manage their finances and pay off debt and all that good stuff. So guys, I have a surprise I wanted to show you guys if you weren't on the live on TikTok. Yes, so what, you guys? Bam! So every time you guys complete your debt payoff, your full debt payoffs, like the whole examples that I do on YT or just my clients, I've done your budget, you are going to get a certificate, you guys. So I have some certificates to send out, which I'm so excited about. So congrats to the budget babes that have completed their debt payoff plan. So guys, here's your motivation. And if you go ahead and you don't finish your debt payoff plan, or you finish your debt payoff plan and you get back in debt, I'm taking it away. I'm taking it away. But anywho, you guys, look how cute this is. So I'll be signing out certificates to all my budget babes that complete their plan. So make sure you guys are staying in touch and letting me know when you're paying off your debt so you can receive your certificate, okay? We need that certificate of completion. You work hard to get out of debt, you guys. But anywho, let's jump straight into it. And of course, we're going to be using my digital planner today, you guys. We're going to be doing a bi-weekly budget to pay off debt. So we're going to jump straight into it. And then we're going to do our debt payoff plan. So yeah, this is a pretty good budget. I did this one the other night on live. It was a client that I had before, but I redid the budget on live yesterday. So if you were on yesterday's live, you're probably gonna be like, oh, this is familiar. But we're gonna give it to the YT family as well, and just so you guys can go back and watch it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. All products, of course, can be found at jaleacreations.com. Let's get straight into it. Alright, you guys, so then the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to set up our calendar. This is going to be for the month of July. So we're going to go ahead and do is speed and fill this in. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this calendar in, just the dates, you guys, and then we're going to be right back. Alright, you guys, so now that we went in and wrote all our dates, we're going to go ahead and write in all our bills that's listed on here. I'm going to do a time elapse of me doing this, and then we'll be right back. Alright, you guys, so now that we have all of our bills in our calendar here, we are going to go ahead and set up our monthly budget. So this is going to be for the month of July, and our goal here is to pay off debt. And we're just going to go ahead and, since it's a bi-weekly, we're just going to put it on our source here. Usually when you're doing the source, you guys, it only has to be, if you have like multiple jobs, you don't have to put like actual each check, but I'm just going to do it this way. We're going to say bi-weekly number 1. Bi-weekly number 2, and we're going to say bi-weekly number 3, because what we're going to do, we're going to have to use our previous check from June. I already did this budget, you guys, from the beginning of July, but you see, we don't get paid again to the 3rd, so we have to use our previous June check to cover all these bills that will come out, like our rent and our student loans. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up so you guys will see how that will work, and we're going to do that on our bi-weekly template here. And then we're going to go in and write down our fixed expenses versus our variables. Remember, fixed are going to be our bills that are usually the same every month, and then our variables are going to be our expenses that vary each month. So let me go ahead and write these dates in, and we're going to come right back. Alright, you guys, and just like that, we wrote down all our expenses. Let's add it up. So our fix is going to be 900 for rent, plus 79, plus 100, plus 422, plus 37, plus 105 is going to total to 1643 for our total for our fix. 1643. Now let's go ahead and add up our variables. So 385 plus 136 plus 50. Hold on, I think that cleared off. 385 plus 136 plus 50 plus 350 plus 250 plus 300 plus 300 is going to be 15. Now we're missing something here. Let's see, 385 plus 136 plus 50 plus 350. I'm supposed to have 1771 for our variables. All right, you guys, 1771 plus 1643. Our expenses are going to total to 3414. So we're not going to go ahead and find the monthly cash surplus, you guys, because this monthly cash surplus is so off when I did this budget. So we're just going to break it down to a bi-weekly budget and see what our cash surplus is going to be after our checks. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the week ofs, and then I will be right back. And we're going to remember, guys, we're going to do this from June all the way to July, because we need this last check of June to cover these bills that come out, because we don't get paid to the 3rd. So I'm going to go ahead and just set up the week ofs, and then we'll come through and set up this budget. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and set up our bi-weekly budget. So we know the last check we get, basically, we don't get paid before the 1st of the month. This is our last check, which would be in June, basically. You see, our next payday is going to be the 3rd of July. So we need to go through and cover all the bills that would come out the first week of the month, because we don't get paid until the 3rd. So what we're going to do with this check here is we are going to cover our rent. So we're going to do rent with this check, which is going to be $900. We got to cover our rent, our student loans, because those come out of the 2nd of the month. So student loans, it's going to be $79. And then we also need to cover our gymnastics, which would technically be the 24th of June here. We still have some that come out in July, but we're not to the 24th of July yet. So remember, we're looking at the payday from June 16th to June 23rd, because this is our last check before we get paid again for the new month. So we got rent, student loans, gymnastics. So these are our fixed bills that will need to be covered. Everything else could be covered with this check that comes out on the 3rd. So we're going to go ahead and just cross this off. Let me use a color I normally don't use. We'll do blue. We'll do blue. So we covered the rent with our previous June check, our student loans, and then our gymnastics was for June, so we haven't got to this one yet. All right, so we're going to cover our rent, our student loans, our gymnastics, and then we also have to look at our variables. So we average about $50 a month on gas, groceries for $3.50, and then a spending budget here. So we're going to go ahead and write this in here. So we have our groceries, which is going to be $175, and then we have our gas, which is going to be $25, because this is on a bi-weekly budget, you guys. If we're spending $50 a month on gas, that means $25 bi-weekly. I think she works from home, so that's why her gas is so cheap. And then our spending budget is $300 for the month, so we're going to give ourselves a spending budget of $150 bi-weekly. All right, let's go ahead and add this up here. So 900 plus 79 plus 105 is going to be 1084 is what we're going to total to for our bills. Out of this check, 1084 of that's going to go strictly to bills. Then our variables, 175 plus 25 plus 150 is going to be $350, which is going to go to our variables. So $350 plus $10.84. We're technically going to spend $14.34 this week on our expenses. So how much money do we get to pocket from this check until we get paid again? Since we are on a bi-weekly budget, we're going to go ahead and take our income, which is $2 grand, and we're going to minus it from $14.34, which is going to give us $566 in our savings for this time frame. So this would technically be a part of June's cash surplus. So $566 is what we would have left over for the month of June here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here, $566. I was using blue. I try to color coordinate it to make it all match, you guys. Go ahead and use our blue. All right, $566 is what's gonna go in our savings, you guys, for this week. And now we're gonna look at our next week. So our next week, the 24th to the 30th, we've already covered all bills that would come out from that time frame because we don't get paid again till July 3rd. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to look at our check for July. Our first check is going to be the 3rd of the month, and we don't get paid again till the 17th of July. So we're going to go ahead and box this up, and we're going to put everything that's going to come out in this time frame. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and go to our budget. We're gonna put 0 here because we basically covered all these bills. We don't have any income coming in or any expenses going out this week. So we're looking at July 1st to July 8th, which technically the payday falls on the 3rd here. We have already covered the bills that came from the 1st and the 2nd with our previous June check. So we know for a fact we have to cover our LGN with this check. So we're gonna go ahead and just highlight this. Our LGN is going to be covered with this check. So LGNE, which is going to be $100. What else do we have to cover with this check? We'll also have our car payment coming out, and I'm just going to color coordinate everything so you see what goes with it. Our car payment, which is going to be $422. All we're doing is basically matching a bill with the check. All right, and then our gym membership comes out on the 15th. We get paid again on the 17th, so we need to cover our gym membership with this as well. So our gym for $37. All right, do we have any more for fix that's gonna come out here? So here goes our gym. All right. So we get paid again on the 17th. Is there anything we can possibly cover before? Let's go ahead and add up what our bills total to. Let's see what we're working with there. So we have LGN, which is going to be LGNE, which is $100. Our car payment for $422. And then we also have our gym membership for $37. So that's going to total our fix at $559. Now let's go ahead and write in our variables. So our groceries repeat every 2 weeks as well. So we have to re-up on groceries, which is going to give us $175. Then we have gas here, which is going to be $25 every 2 weeks. And then we also have our spending for $150. So let's see where we're aiming at here. We have an income of $2,000 coming in this week. So let's see. 175 plus 25 plus 150 is only $350. So maybe we can go ahead and cover something ahead. What's coming up next? We have our medical and our hair appointment. We have enough to squeeze that in with this check, so we're just going to color coordinate this so we know it's going with this check. We're going to go ahead and handle our medical. And then we're going to go ahead and handle our hair appointment. Hair appointment would have came out with this check anyway. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put our hair appointment in there, which is $250. And then we're also gonna go ahead and just get ahead on our medical. $136. All right, so 175 plus 25 plus 150 plus 250 plus 136 is going to be 736 for our variables. So 736 plus 559 is going to bring our expense total to $12.95 this week. How much do we get to put in our savings from this check? $2,000 minus $12.95. Boom. $2,000 minus $12.95. We're going to be able to put $705 in our savings from this week. And we were also able to get ahead, which I always love. So we're going to go ahead and use our highlighters. We were using green for this week. Boom. So now we are done with the week of our first check of the month. Green is everything we used for this paycheck. Now we're going to go to our next paycheck. All right, you guys, so we are on the last week of July here, which is going to be basically the week of payday the 17th. We already got ahead. We paid our medical and we also paid for our hair appointment. So we just have our Wi-Fi coming up. So we're going to go ahead and go to this week. We don't have any income coming in this week, so we're going to ignore this week. All our expenses are already covered. So we for sure have our Wi-Fi, which is going to be $35. And I forgot to put the Wi-Fi over here, you guys. My bad. So the Wi-Fi comes out on the 20th. Let me put this on here. Oopsie, oopsie. That's okay. I wasn't really worried about the monthly budget. I was looking at this bi-weekly anyway. So no biggie. Let me fix the math before y'all be ready to get me though. Let me fix this here. Plus 35. It's going to be 1678. 1678 plus 1771 is going to be 3449. All right, sweet, you guys. So what color we're using? All right, you guys, sorry about that puppy alert. All right, so we have our Wi-Fi, which is gonna come out. So we got Wi-Fi, which is gonna be $35. So we're gonna have to for sure cover the Wi-Fi with this check. Go ahead and put that in there. All right, you guys, and then we'll also have the gymnastics coming up as our bill as well. So gymnastics for $105. I'm gonna go ahead and write this in here. $105. All right, and then we have our credit cards coming up. So we have our credit cards and our cruise. We need to cover the cruise, which is going to be $300 because we don't get paid again this next week. So we have the cruise, which is going to be $300. And then we'll also have our Wells Fargo credit card, which was what, $35? Let's go back and look. $35. All right, and then we'll also have our Best Buy credit card, which totaled here to $350. All right, let's see, our Wells Fargo and our Best Buy, $350. And then, yeah, that's everything here. And then we'll just go list our variables. All our credit cards are covered for the month with this check. And then we'll go put our variables, our gas, our groceries, and our spending again, which is going to be repetitive. So gas, 25. Groceries, how much are we putting for groceries? 175. And then we're also going to be putting spending for 150. Because we have our spending budget. All right, 35 plus 105 is going to put our expenses at 140 for our fix, and our variables 300 plus 35 plus 350 plus 25 plus 175 plus spending for 150 is going to be 1035. 1035 plus 140 is going to be $11.75. $2,000 minus $11.75 here. 2,000 minus 11.75 is going to be $8.25. That's going to go in our savings. And bam, just like that, we are done with the month of July. Our next August check will come out later in August. So we don't get paid that first week of August, we get paid the second. So it's going to be an exact duplicate of this week. Alright, you guys, so we want to know what our cash surplus is for the month of July. So we're going to take 566 plus 705 plus 825. We roughly have $20.96 left over after our bills and expenses. So our cash surplus is going to be $20.96 for the month of July, including a little bit of June's cash surplus. So we're going to go ahead and set up a debt payoff list. I'm sorry, you guys. I hope it's not super loud. I'm doing laundry right now. So we're going to go ahead and set up our debt payoff list. Alright, you guys, and just like that, we set up our debt payoff list. We have Wells Fargo for $14.75, Best Buy for $71.81, our medical and our cruise. So starting July, according to our budget, if we're combining a little bit of July and June here, we'll technically have about $20.96 left over after our bills and expenses, including our credit card minimums. So we're right off the bat, we have a bigger cash surplus. So we are going to start navigating towards our highest interest cards, but we're going to go ahead and pay off the cruise. So our goal for July is to pay off cruise. Why are we going to pay off the cruise, you guys? It has a $300 minimum, and it is close to one of our smallest balance. On the medical bill, we're not paying any interest, so we're going to pay that one off last. We're going to go ahead and get the cruise out the way so we could take the minimums that we're paying on the cruise each month, that $300, and put it back into our pockets. Even if the cruise isn't accumulating interest, we could put that $300 minimum back into our pockets and pay off something bigger. So we're going to go ahead and put $272 in our savings for the month of July. So $272 is what's going to go in our savings. And then starting August, we no longer have to pay that $300 minimum. So we're going to take $300 plus $20.96, which was our original cash surplus, which is going to be $23.96 now. So with $23.96, we paid off the cruise, or with our previous cash surplus, the $20.96. So now we have $23.96 left over at the end of August, because we're going to put that money back into our cash surplus. So we're going to go ahead and pay off Best Buy, which is our highest interest. So our Best Buy has a balance of $71.81. So we're going to break down our cash surplus. We're going to put $2,000 of this towards debt. And then we're also going to put $396 in our savings. That way we can build our savings and pay off debt at the same time. So keep in mind, guys, we're going to put an extra $2,000 on top of this $305 minimum. We're going to use this minimum to cover our interest. So if it's going to put $2,000 towards a $71.81 balance, it's going to take roughly about 4 months to pay this off. So August, September, October, in November, which isn't bad at all. So it's going to be $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, and then $2,000 here. All right, so we know 2,000 times 4 is going to give us $8,000. With $8,000, we're going to pay off the $71.81, which is going to give us $8,000 minus $71.81, which is going to be $819. That's going to go in our savings. Boom. Just like that. That's paid off. Now we no longer have to pay the minimum on that one as well. But before we get there, we were also putting $396 in our savings for the last 4 months as well. So we're going to go ahead and take $396 and we're going to times it by 4 months, which is going to give us $15.84. That's going to go in our savings. Boom. Just like that, we paid off one credit card, and we're also able to put a nice amount in our savings. So let me make sure I just did my math right. So $396 times 4 months. Yep. So a nice little chunk that's going to come in our savings, and we paid off our highest interest credit card. So even better. So now we're going to go ahead and cover Best Buy. And remember, you guys, that's worst case scenario. If we're putting roughly $2,000 on top of a $350 minimum, that's going to pay off even quicker. But we're just quoting for the worst case. All right, starting December, we're going to go ahead and take $23.96, and we're going to go ahead and add $350 to that because we no longer have to pay that minimum. So now we have $27.46 as our new cash surplus. So with $27.46, we're going to go ahead and pay off Wells Fargo because that is our next highest, or our credit card. We don't have, the medical bill doesn't have any interest on it. So we're just going to go ahead and get the credit card out the way first. So $27.46 is our new cash surplus minus $14.75 is going to give us $12.71 in our savings. So not only are we paying off huge amounts of debt, we are building our savings at the same time. If she wants to take some money from her savings to pay off her debt quicker, she can, but it's up to her. All right. So just like that, we paid off the Wells Fargo. And now we're going to go ahead and add $35 starting January. We're going to go ahead and add $35 back into our cash surplus. $27.46 plus $35 is going to be $27.81. All right, with $27.81, we're going to go ahead and finish off the medical, which should be smaller at this time since we have been paying the minimum. There's no interest on the medical, so let's go ahead and do the math here. I'm going to go ahead and take $136 that was on the medical, 136 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And this is going to be to find out what's left on the medical. 136 times 6. So we've already paid $816 on the medical. So now we're going to go ahead and take $1352, which is the balance on the medical, and minus it by $816. So basically on the medical, we only have $536 left on medical. Let me go ahead and do the formula just in case anyone gets confused. So we basically took $1352 minus what was paid of $816, and this is what's left on the medical. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and take our cash surplus, which is going to be $27.81, and we're going to minus this by the $536. So our cash surplus minus what's left, and we're going to go ahead and take $27.81 and minus it by $536. We're going to be able to put $22.45 in our savings. Boom. And just like that, the medical is paid off. So we will officially be debt free by February 2025. And then let's see what our total savings is. Our total savings, $272 plus $819 plus $1584 plus $1271 plus $2245 is going to be $6191. And then we'll also have our new cash surplus, you guys, because we no longer have to pay the minimum on the medical. So $136 will go back into our $27.81, which is going to total to $29.17 as our new cash surplus. So now she'll roughly be saving close to $3 grand per month because she no longer has to pay her debt anymore. So that's why it's so important to become debt free, you guys, so you can have a nice cash surplus and start working towards your other goals. So that's how we set up a bi-weekly budget that's going to help us pay off debt. Hope this video was helpful. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe so you can join the family. Keep in mind, guys, all we did here was set up a calendar to basically budget out our paychecks. Then we broke it down to monthly just to see an overview, and then we got very specific and broke down our paychecks to see where we can actually see our cash surplus. So that's all we did here. And then we wrote down our debt payoff and created a list to pay off our debt. And that's the process. So if you want to get your budget done, make sure you guys book me for consultation so I can set up your budget plan as well. And then also, you guys, make sure you get your digital planner or your physical planner available at juliacreations.com, you guys. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll be back with another video on Saturday. Bye, you guys. Love you guys.